Hello, and thank you for being here. It's a powerful thought that the choices we make today, right now, don't just shape our own lives. They can actually ripple through our families, defining their destiny for generations to come. So today, we're going to explore this idea, how to find the wisdom to make choices that build a truly lasting, positive legacy.
I just love this metaphor. Life, it's like a game of chess. So many of us, right? We're just reacting to the last move our opponent made. We're constantly on the back foot, feeling stressed, not sure what to do next. But just imagine playing with a clear plan, seeing the board, anticipating moves way down the line. That's not about being some kind of genius. It's about having a guiding wisdom. And that foresight? Well, it brings a sense of calm, of confidence. It lets you live a life of ease instead of one of constant reaction.
And that's really the heart of the matter, isn't it? It's one thing to say, oh, we should think long term, but how do we actually do that? How do you develop that kind of deep vision, especially when the world around us is screaming for us to only think about what's happening right here, right now?
Well, a big part of the problem is that our modern culture loves to offer us what looks like a special cure. A quick fix, a life hack, a simple solution for a really complex problem. And we love them because they promise immediate results. But just like a powerful medicine, they often come with these unseen and sometimes pretty dangerous side effects. So let me tell you a story that illustrates this perfectly. There was a mother, and she was really struggling with her daughter's lack of motivation around the house. Then she reads a popular book, and bingo! She thinks she's found the perfect cure, a magic pill to instantly change her daughter's behavior. It sounds so logical, so effective, so modern.
So she rolls out this new system in the family. All of a sudden, household chores aren't responsibilities anymore, they're paid jobs. And you know what? At first, the results were amazing. The daughter is suddenly buzzing with energy, eager to work, eager to earn money. The special medicine seemed to be working wonders.
But then, the side effect kicks in. One day, the mother herself is feeling tired and asks for a little help, and the whole system just falls apart. See, the daughter's motivation was never about responsibility or helping the family. It was just a transaction, and the moment she didn't want the reward, the behavior completely disappeared.
And this right here, this shows us the fundamental mistake. The parent, completely by accident, replaced the values of a family with the values of the marketplace. A family is supposed to be this incredible space where we learn to contribute out of love, out of a sense of duty, out of gratitude. By turning it into a place of pure transaction, she had taught her daughter that helping is only worth doing if you get something out of it.
Okay, so if these quick fixes can be so damaging, what's the alternative? Let's take a look at how a single wise decision, one that's rooted in a long-term vision, can create an entirely different and profoundly positive kind of legacy.
This is a personal story from the source I was studying. The author's grandfather was a fisherman who couldn't read or write, just like all his brothers. And their children? Well, they all became fishermen too, dropping out of school early to help earn money. That was the easy choice, the short-term choice. But his grandfather, he saw a different path.
And just look at the power of that one choice. The ripple effect here is absolutely staggering. Because one man chose to endure hardship in the present, to invest in the future. His children's lives were completely transformed. And then, his grandchildren's lives were transformed even more. This entire family's destiny was reshaped, not by a quick fix, but by one single, difficult, forward-thinking decision.
So here's the crucial point. The ability to make a choice, like the grandfather did, it comes from what we can call correct judgment. And this isn't something you're just born with. It's a capacity you have to build, a muscle you have to train through deep, genuine learning. It's the thing that lets us see beyond the immediate reward and act with real wisdom. But, of course, that leads us to a very modern problem. We live in an age of infinite information. So, how do we choose what to learn? Not all knowledge helps build that correct judgment. To be honest, a lot of it is just pollution for the mind.
Just pause for a second and think about this. Picture the mind of a young child. It's so pure, so open, so incredibly absorbent.
What a powerful analogy. Putting a wrong idea, a cynical thought, or a harmful piece of information into that clear water, it takes just a second. But cleaning it out again, correcting that pollution, that can take an immense amount of time and effort. It shows why choosing our sources of knowledge for ourselves and for our children is one of the most important decisions we will ever make. This all leads to a common idea that we really need to challenge. We tend to think that as we get older, we automatically get wiser.
Is that really true? The source text I read describes society as a great dying vat, a place of pollution. It's totally possible to spend decades just getting more and more stained by the world's confusion, rather than actually becoming wiser.
So if experience alone isn't the answer, and modern ideas can be misleading, where do we turn? How do we build that correct judgment? Well, we turn to the knowledge that has survived the ultimate test, the test of time.
The most reliable knowledge, the purest wisdom, comes from the teachings of the great sages of humanity. This isn't just one person's opinion or some passing trend. This is wisdom that has been tested, applied, and proven true across different civilizations and for thousands of years. This is the raw material we use to build correct judgment.
Let's just take one quick example, the idea of filial piety, that deep respect and duty you owe to your parents. This was a core value thousands of years ago, and it's just as vital today. And it's not some culturally specific thing. The source material talks about sharing these ideas with an Australian audience, and they got it instantly. They didn't see it as foreign, they saw it as human. They said, this is how people should be. Real wisdom like this, it goes beyond time and borders. It speaks to all of us.
And so we end by bringing the question right back to you. Every single day, you are making choices. Are they quick fixes for today's little problems, or are they foundation stones for your family's future? Are you playing for the next move on the board, or are you playing for the generations to come?
I hope this exploration has given you a helpful way to think about your own choices. If you found this useful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss our next sharing. Thank you so much for joining me.